So let's get into it and show you the whole process. So every time I photograph a wedding, on the day itself as I'm shooting, I would normally try to visualize the album design already inside my head. So trying to consciously imagine how I would lay them out page by page. That is why it's very important for me to photograph the entire wedding, because it's the only way that you are able to present an honest story and not really relying some areas of the wedding to your assistant. The way how I work, I let them shoot the wedding as if it's their own wedding gig. This is another way of training them and allowing them to practice creatively. And the only difference there is I don't let them get into my way. So basically they're not allowed to give instructions or converse to the couple. So they're just there to cover different areas of the weddings. So I'm very much hands-on from start to finish. And being able to document the entire day, most likely you are more credible to put the story together as the third witness. So it is key to be able to experience exactly what happened during the wedding. So for this specific wedding, I knew it was going to be a minimalist, something really clean and less cluttered. In fact, I really thought of designing it in a linear form. So when you look at each spread, it is basically just a series of different images in one line. So starting from left to right, from the first to the last page, it is just in a linear form. I thought having it this way, it would be nice to spread out all the images across the album. And also, since there's just a few of them, I thought I can have it this way. So overall, not being biased, I thought it's a very interesting design. You can see so much clarity in each spread, yet beautifully conveying the entire story of the day. So now let's break them down into bits, and I'll share some insights on every page. As soon as I arrive to where the bride and the groom prepares themselves, I would normally check the surroundings and try to look around and capture as much details as I can. But as long as it's part of the wedding or relevant to the couple's day, then you have to capture it. So things like the venue or place and ambiance. So on this first page, it was obvious there was an ocean view, so it was best to highlight that, and a great way to establish where the venue is. And showing the resort rooms where they are preparing themselves. So I've composed it in a way that I can show the pool in the foreground. Then I try to include and reinforce the page with few details showing the setup. And it actually turned out really nice, having that cool ocean blue tones, which I thought perfectly match all images in this spread. So just a tip, it's always good to establish not only where the venue is, but how it looks and feels like. Include a shot where everything starts and how or where it ends. Just like any story, it's nice to show a beginning and an ending. So the next spread is showing the getting ready shot. So basically I would start off touching base with the couple or whoever is there. So it's always great to greet them, you should say your highs and hellos to everyone. And always have that positive tone, because it does help, bring a positive vibe inside the room. And after that, just try to observe and document what's happening. Oftentimes, as soon as I start documenting the preparation, I keep myself at a distance first. And why is that? Because you have to understand that, it is human nature that if someone sees a person with a camera, they tend to feel conscious or even anxious. So sometimes some get intimidated, and you don't want that to happen, because once you make them feel that way, they can sometimes act differently. So though it affects people differently, I would still try to be more sensible and try to slowly establish my presence. So on this page, I thought there's a nice vertical and horizontal lines. So I thought I wanted to incorporate them. The horizontal line from the facade and the vertical lines from the door and windows, as well as capturing as they were getting ready. For this wedding, there wasn't really much detail, so I just took whatever is there. Then I took a series of shots while the bride was fixing herself in front of the mirror. Then on this page, I saw the bride with a subtle expression as she was looking out towards the ocean view. And it felt like she was drifting away, so perhaps containing her excitement. So I thought that was a beautiful thing, so I took a shot of her. Just a quick tip, don't let your presence shine through, always be unobtrusive. So you want to capture everyone as they get ready in a candidly fashion. Then as I was heading towards outside, I saw the groom simply enjoying the beautiful view. And one of the things that I do, I try to like converse quickly just to, trigger some reactions. Then he responded a smile, so I took that photograph. Then as they were coming out and walking towards the ceremony area, so I took a few shots of them. Sometimes you just have to always be observant and try to, capture anything that moves your emotion. So I thought it was a beautiful unguarded moment between them two. And then also, since it was a relaxed and pretty much laid back wedding, I took a judgment to set up a quick shot, giving them instructions to walk across the pool. So I thought I liked the panoramic perspective of the ambiance behind them. Then after that, grab more photographs. So I instructed the groom to kiss the bride, starting off from the temple, then to her cheeks, and then finish it off kissing her shoulders. Though again, it may be a setup shot, but it's really the reaction that I am always looking for. There's always that window of reaction, and that's what I capture. And it is evident in this series of photographs, when you look at the images, that the bride really responded and connected beautifully to the groom. So to continue, as they were walking towards the ceremony area, they were actually greeted by their friends. So I took a few photographs just to show those connections. Then it was followed by the ceremony. So the celebrant, you can see she was giving instructions. So basically, you're just there to wait for things to unfold and just capture everything that's happening. And you can capture from emotional connections, the way how they react, or their gestures, as well as the ceremony symbolism. So at the end of the day, you have to be there and you have to make your own judgment on when to click those shutters. But just a tip, always make a judgment on clicking those shutters, not based on what you see, but more of how you feel the moment that moves you emotionally. I'm also a fan of putting series of images in a page or spread. So just like this page. So sometimes it is also good to stretch your visual story even farther and put few series of photographs in it. So for me, there are images that deserves to be shown once. There's also images that deserves to be in a series of photographs. Then the ring exchange, always great to capture them individually as they put the rings on. And for this one, I love how the bride showing a cute emotional gesture. She was actually having difficulty in putting the groom's ring, so I thought it was such a cute reaction from her. Then it led to a beautiful kiss. Then I was able to capture also how the guest reacted from the kiss. Then I tried to capture few or series of photographs as they were signing the contract, congratulating the bride and the groom. Then I directed them for a quick tossing of the wine. And it was nice to also put them almost like a series of different things that's happening in that specific moment, putting them in one page. After the ceremony, I tried to lead them for a quick post-ceremony session shoot. So as we were walking, I was already looking for opportunity. Then I saw the ocean view, so I thought it would be nice to have a casual shot of them while walking with the ocean view behind them. So if you've noticed as well on the album layout, I tried to align the horizon. So I thought it's something different and an interesting series of shots that connects all four images. So they tried to play around as well, and I took the opportunity to capture them while having a bit of fun. Then I finish it off with a kiss. Then we move to a new spot. So there are a few things that I look for. Personally, I would look for lines and shapes. I would always love to incorporate colors and textures. And ultimately, I would make sure that the background or foreground doesn't distract the main subject. So there are times that you can't really get rid of, unflattering background or backdrop. So what you can do is you can actually try to position yourself in a different angle, so that way you can get rid of it. So for this shot, when I tried to level off with them, I really didn't like the ocean wall, so I tried to elevate myself to give it a different angle, and I was able to eliminate the ocean wall on the background. So just a quick tip, there are things that you can't control, especially there are backgrounds or foreground that doesn't really look flattering. But what you can do though, you can always change your position, your angle, so always hide the imperfections and always add that would reinforce your subject, such as lines and shapes and colors and textures. Every session that I do, maybe weddings or prenuptial shoot, I always add images that conveys intimacy. I try to capture it in a tight composition. So normally how I go about it, I will throw first some instructions and words that would basically prime them or condition them to really interact each other, that would lead to that intimate connection. Then I would just wait, and believe me, moments like this will just reveal itself. So for such a simple technique, it has a powerful effect to what you can come up with that conveys real feelings and emotions from the couple. Also, sometimes there are breaks in between the shoots, so if you think that can also contribute to the overall story of the couple, then you might as well document them. In here you can see the couple try to feed each other and having a bit of fun, so thought I would include that in. Then the next spread, as we were about to go back to where they will have their dinner, I thought I wanted to capture a quick panoramic shot of them, just showing the resort and the ocean view. So I gave them instructions to just sit down, chill, and enjoy the ocean view. As soon as we got to the table, they were casually conversing at each other, and while they were doing it, I took some details showing what's on the table. Then from here, it was just all about trying to observe what's happening and try to capture them at the same time, and keeping myself at a certain distance, not too far nor too close, just enough not to distract them, and just allowing the moment to unfold itself. So as you can see, they were having few speeches and giving gifts as well. So this is actually a part of the page or spread that I put a lot of images in it, trying to highlight with a lot of images during this specific moment, and then putting them in a spread. Then I stepped back a little bit and wanted to give a wider perspective of where they are, and I thought it was nice to incorporate one more detail, the coconut tree behind them, which is, I thought, a beautiful way to show the surrounding areas. Then capturing the bluish purple sunset, thought it was really beautiful. Then they had a quick presentation, and I tried to finish it off with the bride and the groom having a quick kiss while there was a performer. So I thought it was a beautiful way to finish off their story. So there you go, guys. That was Ekaterina and Mikael wedding.